Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to GFC, Global Football Culture. In this video, I'll be reviewing and giving my thoughts on the set of results from Tuesday in match day 5 of the UEFA Champions League, and also kind of giving a picture of how the groups A, B, C, and D are looking going into match day 6, which happens next week. So first, I'll be talking about my 3 favorite games from Tuesday. The first one being the match that occurred between Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich. So a couple of things that really stood out to me in this game, first of all, was both teams reverting to a back 3, which we don't see these two teams really playing. We know Simeone at Atletico Madrid, he's a 4-4-2 guy. That's how he plays. That's how Atletico always plays. And Bayern, since Hansi Flick came in last year, we've seen him always playing either 4-2-3-1 or 4-1-4-1. So it was really interesting to see both teams go to a back 3 and use wing backs in this game. It was pretty cool. It made the game interesting and fascinating because I didn't see that coming at all. And so the second thing that really stood out to me was just the strength of Bayern's squad this year. They just won the Champions League last season, so obviously they have a great starting 11, but that bench, for him to play his second guys and still draw 1-1 away at Atletico Madrid is really amazing and shows the strength of Bayern, like I just said. He even had some youth players in the game. Chris Richards, the young defender, 20 years old from the United States of America. Jamal Musiala, the young midfielder, 17, English. And then also Are Imbi, the young German center back, also 17. So yeah, it was really awesome and fun to see these young guys playing for Bayern and for them to hold their own against Atletico's very experienced players and, get a draw. So yeah, it was good. Something else that stood out to me was I think we're starting to see a little bit of improvement in Atletico because they've struggled with goals. Even though they scored only 1 goal in this game, there was a lot of promising moments where they were able to create good attacking opportunities for themselves. Maybe some of that might have to do with Bayern not playing their stronger side, because in the first half, Atletico was very dominant, as we saw on the goal where João Felix was able to receive a cutback and just finish first time into the net. And then the last thing that stood out to me was Hansi Flick's game management, his ability to recognize when to bring in bigger players into the game. He brought on Thomas Muller as well as Serge Gnabry. He made other substitutions as well, but those were the main 2 that really stood out. We saw Thomas Muller in the second half win a penalty and convert it to get Bayern the goal, and Bayern was able to, like I said, get a draw 1-1. They were already first in the group, so when I saw the starting lineups, I thought Atletico was just going to win the game. So yeah, it was a fun game to watch. The second game that really stood out to me was Shakhtar versus Real Madrid. A couple of things that stood out to me in this game was the effects by Real Madrid's injuries are having on the team right now. They were missing Sergio Ramos, Eden Hazard, and Karim Benzema started but came out because you could see he's not 100% yet. His injuries are still bothering him, so I could even tell from a couple shots he took in the game. They were kind of tame. I felt like his movement wasn't as sharp as it normally is, because normally he's one of the best strikers in the world. But in this game, I felt like he wasn't there 100%. So yeah, that really stood out to me. And I thought the injuries really showed in Real Madrid's defense, because they had Lucas Vazquez playing right back and Nacho playing center back in place of Dani Carvajal and Sergio Ramos. And I think this kind of played a part in how Shakhtar was able to score their 2 goals off the counter-attack. In the second half, goals from Dentinho, where Varane made a mistake, which kind of let Dentinho score. And also the second goal from Solomon. It was a nice finish, really nice finish off a counter-attack. Drove the ball nice and low into the bottom left corner. So that was it was good for Shakhtar. It's kept them top of the group. So yeah, that was a good game as well. And then the last game that really stood out to me was the game also from Group B, was Borussia Monchengladbach versus Inter Milan. This was a big game for Inter Milan because they had to basically win to have any chance of making it into the knockout stages. So a couple of things that stood out to me was the passion of Inter Milan in this game. You can see the coach Antonio Conte, the passion, how crazy he is on the sideline, all of that. It's like seeping into his players so much, Even though Inter hasn't been at their peak yet this season, you can see that Antonio Conte passion still within the team. And I think later on during the year, we're going to see Inter really pick up. So, yeah, that's one thing that stood out to me from that game. A couple other things that stood out to me from this game was Lukaku's finishing. Man, he is the star player for Inter this season. That guy, he's getting the job done. That first goal he scored, he's left-footed, but that first goal he scored with his right foot in the box, where he was able to basically shrug off Dennis Zakaria like nothing. And Zakaria is about 6'2", 6'3", I think, and he's a strong guy. Lukaku made him look like a baby, just shoved him off and finished with his right foot, nice and powerful, into the bottom left corner. I thought that was great. So, yeah, and also the last thing I will say, not a criticism of Inter, but just kind of what I noticed was the defensive nature of the team. Their team on paper should be destroying Borussia Monchengladbach, but we saw actually what happened was Borussia had the majority of the possession. I think it was 54% to Borussia and 46, if I'm correct, to Inter Milan, and then throughout the game, and then Borussia definitely had more passes throughout the game and created a lot of chances. Actually, they did score a goal to make it 3-3 from Playa. That would have been his third goal of the game, would have been a hat-trick. But what happened was it was called offside because when he shot the ball from outside the box, one of his teammates actually was in an offside position and impeding Handanovic, the goalie of Inter, from being able to attempt to stop the ball from going into the net. So, yeah, those were my thoughts on that game. And kind of going into a brief overview of how the groups are looking. In Group A, we have Bayern, who have 13 points, so they're way ahead. They're going to be first. Atletico is on 6 points. I think RB Salzburg is on 4 points, and Lokomotiv Moscow is on 1 point, if I can remember correctly. I'll put a picture of the group into the video. But basically, so what you have is going into the last game, I think Atletico goes away to RB Salzburg. So if Salzburg can win, they could pull off the big upset of having Atletico knocked out in the group stage. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in that game in match day 6 on Wednesday in this coming week. And then in Group B, we have Borussia Monchengladbach on 8 points. Shakhtar Donetsk second with 7 points. Real Madrid is third also with 7 points, but because Shakhtar beat Madrid home and away, Shakhtar is second, and then fourth in the group is Inter with 5. So depending on how results go, we could see the craziest thing that nobody could see coming with Inter Milan and Real Madrid being kicked out. Or if Inter Milan and Real Madrid both get the job done and win their games next week, then they're the two teams that will qualify. So definitely we have to keep an eye on Group B. It's going to be very interesting to see. And then in Group C, Manchester City has already qualified. Yeah, guys, so while I was doing that video, I ran out of storage on my phone, so I had to go delete a bunch of old pictures, some apps that I don't really use anymore to, be able to finish up the video. So yeah, we're going to keep going. So in Group C, we have Manchester City on 13 points, FC Porto on 10 points, Olympiacos on 3 points, and Marseille on 3 points. So this group is also done. Manchester City is first. It's kind of like a done deal. And then FC Porto will definitely come in. It's definitely going to be second because the other two teams are only on 3 points. They can't make it up in one game. So yeah, so in that group, and on Tuesday, it was Manchester City played 0-0 with FC Porto. So if even FC Porto was to win their game in match day 6, because Manchester City had beaten them once already and drew with them, there's no way FC Porto could pass them, even if they had a better goal differential. And then the other game, Marseille finally won a game in the group. They beat Olympiacos 2-1. Marseille's been really poor this year in the Champions League, considering I think they're like 5th or 6th in the French league, in Ligue 1, and for some reason they've been so poor in the Champions League. Like they had lost the 4 previous games, so that was very unexpected. I kind of expected them to come in second in the group, but you know, with the players they have, like Dimitri Payet, but this year it didn't work out for them. And then to wrap it off, in Group D, we have Liverpool on 12 points, Atalanta on 8, Ajax on 7, and I think it's pronounced Midtjylland on 1 point. So the results on Tuesday was Liverpool beat Ajax 1-0, and Atalanta played 1-1 with Midtjylland, which was surprising to me because 2 weeks ago, Atalanta actually beat Liverpool 2-0 at Anfield. So it was shocking to see them not get the win against Midtjylland. But that shows you the strength of the Champions League. Anything can happen on any given match day. So, yeah. So, and then in that group, with Ajax on 8 and Atalanta on 7 points, both teams are going to be playing each other next Wednesday. So that's a big game, you know. Ajax just has to draw to qualify, and Atalanta has to win. So that's going to be a good watch as well. So you guys should look out for that game. It's one I'll be keeping an eye on. So just to wrap up the video, thank you guys for watching. Once again, like, share, subscribe to the video. Also hit the notification bell so you guys know it. Anytime I upload a video, you're gonna get it, a notification in your phone, so you can go watch the video right away. Yeah, so let's keep growing the channel as much as we can, guys. Thank you. Ciao.